Let's go.
It's going to start here on Ascent. It's going to start in the first round, and it's going to start on B. As you see the Paranoia come out. No dashes yet. There it is. It's going to dash into his Cloudburst. Tig trying to push him back, but it seems like for now, DHBK have managed to get onto the site. Screwface, one of the many members that are funneling on, and they have, I mean, Lex, they have full scent here. There's nobody staying back, nobody watching a lurk. They're all on the site.
Yeah, you have 2 players flanked in B main already. This is a full envelopment from Beast Coast. DHBK need to hold fast. Frenzy shots being exchanged for a market. A little bit of damage traded, but Decomp, despite some spam, is holding with his teammates, waiting for probably an arrow to arrive. There it is. Here it comes.
Screwface drops. Stimson drops as well. Gosh, Beast Coast just mow him down, right? Anderson able to get one, but Decomp equalizes things and brings 1 player left for DHBK, and he's not going to be around for long. Beast Coast get the defuse, and they get the pistol.
Yeah, Beast Coast with a beautiful retake. It was decisive. They didn't wait around. You know, they quickly took mid control, wrapped the flank on DHBK, and as you pointed out, all 5 players were on site. It's just a matter of waiting for that recon bolt to come back up. Right. There it was. You just had a flooding of green as Beast Coast pushed their way in, and you know, there wasn't really 1 kill, right?
Yep.
So they're opting to go for a buy into this round, Doug, and it's 4 sheriffs and a bucket.
Yeah, and like you, when you funnel everything onto the site, you give them a whole lot of room to work with on the retake there, and again, we saw it play out there where they only got 1 kill. So very well played by Beast Coast on the retake. DHBK managed to get onto the site, get the spike down. That was about as far as they got. Now we'll see here. You mentioned they bought up a little bit. They ain't coming into this with nothing. But what they had in the element of surprise is now gone as a couple of members are spotted.
I think that's all they needed to do, right? If you're looking to mess with or disjoint the rotations from Beast Coast, you show them that you have a main, and actually, as I say that, they're moving back into position for an A split. It'll come down to some Sheriff and Spectre duels. As I say that, the leader comes out. Arena on DHBK. Kohler drops out of heaven. Finds one onto Harmon at A main. Anderson answers back. 4's all now.
Anderson, as you said, equalizing things here. See Screwface still with that Bucky. Trying to blindly fire through the Phoenix wall as Decomp has that curveball ready. Flashes out, jumps down, is able to hit 1. Looking for a second one as well. That flash is good, but the kills are not. As Dimsum and Anderson are able to keep back members of Beast Coast. Just 1 left on the side of the defenders. And it's Jamie's. You mentioned, Lex, at the beginning that they brought up. And, well, so far, so good. Jamie's just down to 40 health left here in a 1v3. He's going to drop to the Bucky. What else but the Bucky as DHBK knot us up at 1 apiece.
I shouldn't get this excited this early on in a game, but the fact is there was a really good call from DHBK. I mean, they bought up and they didn't show it. I mean, they showed presence, right? But they didn't display SMGs. They didn't show that they had armor in any way. And I think Kohler, you know, making that play, he pops his one way, the double stack cage at heaven, falls out onto the green stacks at sight, and gets the first frag, but I think he underestimated just how much it was going to take in the way of Spectre shot to down a full armored Sheriff player, but he just gets traded out. The A site gets yielded, and they hold, hold strong on the post play. It's an understatement. They had like 3 guys alive, but now it's 1-all. East Coast on the back foot.
Now, Decomp here, you saw him take some space early on, but the thing is, if you continue this path, you're going to be met with a Bucky. So you've got to be careful. Curveballs there. Oh, so good, and that he flashed everyone, but he didn't take anyone with him. Dimsum takes him out. They're going to funnel onto the site. You see the jet dash over. Jamie's in a good spot. Jamie's is left entirely unchecked. Nobody even looks at him. Dimsum, however, with 3. As it drops things to a 2v2. DHBK has both members certainly weak. BC does as well. But much like we saw in the opening round, DHBK have gotten onto the site. They're hunkered down, and they're going to get the spike down. Now, it's going to be on Beast Coast to try to take things back. The lockdown's going to be used by Dimsum, and it looks like Beast Coast just want to go for it, right? You've got 8 seconds to make a move. Dimsum has the lockdown destroyed, but he's on the flank. He's already got 4, looking for the ace, and Kohler's on the other side. Kohler playing this slowly. Oh, but Dimsum's got the shot. Give him the ace, baby. Dimsum gets 5.
Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe I'm right to get excited this early in the game, Doug, because right away you see a great play, a little bait and switch from D-Cop. He presses towards B main. He's like, hey, I'm pushing. I'm a defender. Free bomb site behind me. And immediately DHBK floods in. Right, and look at all the damage he does here. First of all, that's incredible. But right away, I mean, the frags all go the way of Beast Coast, and it's Dimsum in heroics. Round 3 in the game with a spike planted, coming away with an ace. Yes, it's an eco ace, quote unquote, but that really looked like it was Beast Coast's round. They certainly had earned it. Dimsum yoinks it away. 2-1 now, DHBK. They were here to play, Doug.
They are indeed. They look good. 1 round lead on the attack for Ascent. And we'll see him take a couple of a bit of mid control here, right? There's that tripwire from Kohler, but for now they've managed to get up a decent amount without really having to show anything.
Yeah, and I think being this confident at mid, clearing that trip out earlier, is going to create some anxiety for BC. But DHBK treading carefully, especially considering the way the last round went. I think breaking that trip, maybe dropping that dark cover deep towards defender spawn might yield a rotate, but that Al drone and all the information over here towards Catwalk, even grabs a tag on his way in. D-Cop, run it back coming through from heaven, but he gets dispatched with quickly. Just Jammies now at A.
Gets tagged up. 30 seconds left. Armin, oh no. Oh no. Certainly not what you want to be doing there, DHBK. Down to 2 members left. They still have a chance at this thing as they're going to drop things down to a 2v2. DHBK, what?
I called him a Sova Savant in the pregame, and I just watched him shock dart his teammate. Feels bad. But 2 Bulldog frags and a classic kill to close it out. DHBK hold fast, Doug. And, you know, I think this is why it's you know, increasing my heart rate as these rounds pass on, because not only are we seeing, you know, Beast Coast with some, you know, I would call it good decisions and smart play, but they're being answered back by really superior play to even that from DHBK, where we kind of wrote them in as, okay, listen guys, chat, fans at home, viewers watching, this is a brand new roster. Can't expect that much out of them, but right away, they are raising some eyebrows, at least from this caster's perspective. All right, 3-1 now against Beast Coast, and it's attacker side Ascent too.
Yep. Well, and that's it. That's been the fun thing of watching this DHBK squad is really the Cinderella run. Jammies!
Uh-oh.
Okay. Screwface dash all the way in, got up and close and personal, was able to take him out. B-Dog with the Bucky takes care of Screwface. BC with the numbers advantage. DHBK have not committed to the site. They do still have the spike. It's not sitting in a behind enemy lines or anything like that. But Tig clearing things out. Decent understanding of where they might not be, and because of that, they might try to push aggressively here. Oh, the swap surely. Yep, there's the swing. B-Dog gets 1. Tig gets the 2nd. A thrifty round win for BC as they reduce the gap to 1.
Let's go, man. Beast Coast answer right back. The Owl drone gets popped from the Sova at A main, and it does not clear wine. Jammies comes away with 2 in a position with he otherwise would have been cleared.
Yep.
That Blade Storm comes in huge. The Bucky for B-Dog, where Doug, why do they call him B-Dog again? Is that what the B stands for?
B stands for Bucky, baby.
It comes in big there and closes it out at the end with a Phantom in hand, and now it's 3-2. Beast Coast have answered back, and a broken by a bit, at least, from DHBK. Big. Anxious to etch away some HP off of the attackers on the other side of that B main wall. Doesn't get that much done, actually. Thought it was a perfect lineup. Not quite. But right away, you see DHBK resetting themselves, saying, okay, you got the Odin, relax, everybody back up. Walk forward again. Aldrin will spot him out here, but he hits underway, maybe?
What do you see? Did he only see 1? All right, that's everything. Gigs up. They know where they are. You see the Lear come out, the smoke, to try to keep things back as BC slowly starts to rotate over. The 100 Fury is going to be used. D-Cop may be in some trouble here as Harmon Not good. Good enough for a tag, I believe, and that was it. Still a 5v5 here.
And what's tough is you really haven't taken a whole lot of map control. You see Anders up here at Pizza, but Jammies might be wise to it already. At least he knows the potential's there behind the trip.
Kohler makes
So, tough there for Harmony calls Jammies, and despite Anders' position now, this isn't really, this isn't a fight that you want to go taking. 20 seconds left, not a whole lot that they have on the table to take.
No, it looks like they're going to go right back where they started towards B. And at this point, when you've got such little time left, you've got to go. There's no time to be methodical. There's no time to be slow about things. You just kind of have to full send there. And it's going great for BC as Jammies gets 3. He's going to keep the op into the next round. BC tie us up.
I think that's not only just a resurgence in the past few rounds from Beast Coast, but Jammies has now dealt the blows necessary to make DHBK respect the fact that there's now an operator in play. I mean, as long as he's alive and still holding on to that thing, there is absolutely the terror now struck into the hearts of DHBK, where you might have gotten away with it a few times of being able to take some bare peeks towards mid and B main, but that threat will not just go away without dispatching some utility first. So early Owl drone up mid already, and this is the same space that they've tried to take the past few rounds successfully, and already we see several sheriffs mounting up towards Pizza Doug.
Well, they take it. All right, and it hasn't been that DHBK haven't been able to get onto the site, right? Like, they get onto B, they plant the spike, but Beast Coast has been able to respond very well here. The tripwire goes down. You see both members of BC immediately, as soon as that trapwire goes down, like, retreat further back into Boathouse. Once again, they're going to have to be the anchors. Anderson with the paranoia. Blueface dashes in. Oh, no, he missed. He missed. Oh, my gosh, he missed. Tig gets 2. Anderson gets 1 to trade it out, but they hold fast. They anchor down the site from Boathouse. BC plays that beautifully.
My gosh, that looked so good from DHBK. You see the paranoia, you see the tailwind into sight, and as you said, that Buggy does not get it done for Screwface. He gets what I would say is robbed, and Tig set up in a perfect crossfire with Kohler. Kohler will fall, but 4 frags go his way. That Odin is now also gonna need the deserved respect from DHBK and BC. Really recovering from what I would only describe as a shaky start. 3 straight for them, and economy is booming. You're going to have to deal with a full buy from DHBK in this round, but no worries. It seems like everyone's feeling good now in BC. Already, actually, as I say that, not only feeling good, but good enough to take a early mid peak here at Jammies and teammates in tow, so no mid control for DHBK.
Oh, just narrowly missing. Looked like they were trying to clear out that tripwire, but it was a little bit further up. The tripwire was, and the shock dart doesn't connect. And look at how far up BC have already taken that area of the map. DHBK have tried hitting it. You already see some really nice adjustments from Beast Coast on the defending side as they remove that from the fold.
Yeah, I think DHBK is almost expecting this play from Decomp where, oh my goodness, as I say that, Harmon just walked away.
Yeah,
this is huge.
Decop. If they turn around. Decop knows. Now the footsteps. Certainly that's giving it away. Tig's going to be there. Decop gets 1. Tig gets the second one as well. The spike goes down. The curveball goes out. As Decop looking for the last one that should be there. The Hunter Fury is going to be used from Tig to try to tag him up. And it's actually the molly from Decop of all things that takes care of Screwface and seals his fate. Kohler's going to drop as well. 1 left on the side of DHBK, and it's Dim Sum. 1v4, 13 seconds left. Baby, you got to go if you're going to do it. Looks like he's just going to try to save the weapon into the next round. Well played by Beast Coast, man. The adaptation was there, right? Well, actually, hang on, sorry. All right, the adaptation was there, right? We talked about how DHBK was exposing the middle of the map. It was just a tripwire, and they knew where the tripwire was. So you see Harmon with the adjustment to try to clear the tripwire with the shock dart, but not only does the tripwire move from its location originally, but they also invest people there. BC looking good, man.
Yeah, and that was a big play from D-Cop. I mean, that, obviously, but a hot flank turns into a hot hand situation over there at A main. I don't know what happened, whether or not that Hail Mary that he tossed into sight. Oh, Sheriff frag on the TIG immediately. That is a wall bang, wall back. Odin falls, and now it's a 5-on-4 very quickly in this light buy from DHBK, but they're already rallying back towards the A side of things. Dim Sum holding onto this Vandal from the previous round. May be able to at least get an off-angle frag, you know, here at Catwalk, maybe take a duel of his own, but he's going to bide his time for his teammates over here at A main.
Jamie's with one, dashes away. He's going to get tagged up. Oh, Screwface with the Bucky again, man. Jamie's drops Dim Sum with the Vandal. He's going to take care of Kohler and is going to drop BC down to 2 members left. This was a mixed buy for DHBK, if I'm not mistaken. And the Hunter's Fury is online now for DHBK. They're looking good here in this round.
Yeah, and that is just such an unfortunate dink onto Jammies. He was left with 10 HP over at that A main retreat. And now it's just B-Dog in a 1v4 with the spike going down. There is, well, dare I say no shot, but
gutsy.
Really, not going to be a decision that he's going to make. Yeah.
No, and
back up.
Well, go ahead. Sorry, finish that thought.
I was just going to back up and perhaps hold for some exits. That's all. There's one.
You saw the. Well.
There's two.
Thrifty.
You saw the impact of James. So James gets that opening op pick. Dope, right? He retreats away, he eventually drops, and that op went into the hands of Screwface, and he, with that op that he had taken from James, was able to anchor things down up in heaven, create some room to get onto the site. We often track, which player has the op at the beginning of the round, but one of the things we don't, in my opinion, we don't talk about enough is the residual impact, right? Like the ripples that come from an op being lost.
Can be just as dangerous as having one used against you from the get-go, yeah. And certainly when you expect a team to be on an eco, handing them, FedExing them, UPSing them a operator, as Jammies may have done inadvertently from his play. Oftentimes he worked against you, and Anderson is coming through market with warp speed, finds one on the D-Cop. We had no idea that was even a possibility. TIG, such a threat back in this B site. Time and again, but Harmon answers back with one of his own. Sova on Sova, that's a headshot. 4-on-3 now, Doug. Minute spare, but hands at this off angle. Actually getting the better of from Kohler. There's that aim that you were talking about earlier. And finally, the spike will go down.
Once again, B is where they like to play. Screwface gonna dash his way in. They're gonna get the spike down. BC have 3. They also have a blade sword. Oh, Screwface winning that op battle. Screwface good for 2, rips Kohler's face off. As there's just B-Dog left. He's got an op of his own, but you wonder if you save it here.
I got to imagine, I mean, clutching with an op is difficult enough as it is. That's like, 101 things that you want to do here. It's a juicy save opportunity, might as well take it. And Jammies has been coming up big for his team so far, so no doubt about it. He turns tail and runs. Hopes to fight another day, and then in the next round, it'll be 5-all. DHBK answering back in a decisive way, and I gotta commend both teams now. This is a back and forth affair where individual skills are shining, and certainly there's initiative being taken. Some Bucky and Odin work so far, some operator frags. We're getting a nice variety, spice of life here when it comes to the fragging methods of both teams. But not quite broken as the economy of Beast Coast. We'll take perhaps one more round before you get an operator firmly out of the hands of Jammies. But on the flip side of things, Doug, get a nice bit of a bank building up on the attack side of Spent. Attack side of Spent. Of Ascent.
Nailed it.
Almost. 2 rounds left. You've confirmed your own buys for the duration, so quickly now, DHBK grabbing some mid-control, not getting met with any resistance.
No, well, and again...
Paranoia back mid, though.
Well, so they've got the camera spots, then they can paranoia and swing, right? We'll see if they do it. The camera got cleared out. I don't know if it spotted anyone, but you heard the rent it back was used from Beast Coast. Didn't net much of anything. And as they threatened, DHBK did threaten them to take control across the middle. Nothing was doing. They retreat back as it looks like they want to go towards A.
Yeah, and that Aldrum will spot one player over towards Catwalk. No more, but you got to imagine that's enough information to at least make that threat very real. And Tig, E-Cop over here at this tree position, due to make contact here in the coming seconds as this cat split comes underway.
Standing ahead.
All right, go. Darts coming through. Nothing doing quite yet. Tig understanding there's somebody pushing through. Screwface is trying to work his way in. It's E-Cop with the curveball, but no, it doesn't matter. Screwface and Dimsum get a couple as Screwface takes care of Tig as well. He's got the op. They're going to have full A control. BC very quickly fall apart as they only have 2 left in the round.
Yeah, and again, we talked about the economy kind of being rough for Beast Coast here. So when a 2-on-5, you know, I'm sure they have a teammate in their ear that's like, might want to save here, guys, because, you know, there's not a whole lot they're going to be able to work with in the final round. You've only got 5 on the board. Wise decision here, I think, from Beast Coast to back it up. And Screwface, man, he has had several times throughout this attack side really open things up for the team, and not just, you know, finding the entries, doing it in really awkward, unconventional ways. You know, thought about the Bucky round a few, you know, rounds prior where got an operator out of the hands of Beast Coast, and he's gotten his Blade Storm going. He found 2 whilst blinded by a curveball. You know, that tree hold could have easily blown up in their faces off of a big play from D-Cop, and instead, you know, they've claimed 6 so far. They're, in all likelihood, you know, confident as ever that they're going to grab this 7th. For Beast Coast, you hope, you know, you've invested in the operator, and actually they have a fairly respectable buy despite the picture I may have just painted.
Well,
so,
I
they have light armor.
Yeah,
but
the light armor doesn't feel good, but we'll see. We'll see how they play this out. Again, as you mentioned, final round of the first half. A couple of key ultimates to keep an eye on. Harmon's Hunter's Fury. Choose it to clear some space or potentially hold it for the post plant. But for, you know, for DHBK, well, really, the narrative of this half has been the fight for mid control and what they can do to expose it afterwards. And you've seen Kohler switch things up a bit. First a tripwire, then it's moved, then there was no tripwire, but there was a camera there, and they set up a crossfire. Now, all they have is that cam. There's no crossfire there. I mean, DHBK, man, they could be in a good spot. Jamie's once again, same look that we saw a couple of rounds ago pay off. This time, he stays alive.
Ange has tried to take this dry peek a few times. I wish he would have just thrown a jiggle, but Jamie's, obviously, he finds success there often. He's played there a few times. And this from the shadows to switch, closing the door quickly means B-Dog, Tig on site are alone and outnumbered, and suddenly they're surrounded and overtaken. 4-on-2 retake for Beast Coast here, Doug.
Very different from where we've seen them anchor down the site by themselves in Boathouse. This time they fall apart. But much like we saw previously, and much like we've seen DHBK like to do, they funnel everything onto that site, right? They're fully sent in there. There's 103 by Harmon. They've gotten a little something, but not much. Right, Clear's going to clear out. Banana Storm, Screwface with the Judge. 1. Screwface with the Judge, looking for the second. The paranoia's there, but it's Anderson who gets it a 3K as DHBK get to 7 at half.
Impressive first half here from DHBK, where, you know, I sure have talked them up as being, you know, the week-old roster. Now I'm going to start tagging Wonder on the front of that, the week-old Wonder roster, because these guys are playing so well together. Honestly, it's impressive to see, just, you know, on such short notice, short term, I guess, how they're able to, you know, at least for this half, outclass the likes of Beast Coast, where they've already established themselves in the scene to a degree, and you almost expect that they'll at least make this a very competitive second half. But we'll see now as the pistol seems to be leaning towards potentially like mid control, something along here for Beast Coast. 3 players out made quickly, maybe a B split.
It looks like there's not going to be anyone home. They're going to drop the smoke. No information gained from the defender side, middle of the map. They're going to get on to B, and B is entirely unattended. I mean, they can pitch a tent, take their dang sweet time, too, before they make anything happen. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the map, Kohler with a big pick early on. Looking to see if he can get a second one across the middle as well. As Ange now makes his way onto the site. BC funnel everything in, and Harmon shows up. So far, so good. Dimson looking for a second one as well, but it's Ange with the second. For him, as Decop trades one out. 3v2, make that a... Yeah, 3v2, excuse me, in favor of DHBK. Decop drops. B-Dog drops, excuse me. Dimson goes big. DHBK win the pistol.
And honestly, it really... There was a few different fights there where... Really awkward, just maybe a moment, a step, one direction or the other. Could have net decop those kills, doesn't come his way, and instead DHBK, who just had, you know, a dominant first half, I'd say, for an attack side ascent, coming away with a pistol. And not only do they have to be feeling good here, but for Beast Coast, I mean, you're gonna have to save what you can, maybe grab some sheriffs, look for some feel-good frags, keep the economy in check, DHBK if you can, but ultimately this will be a defensive anti-eco that, well, another fast market split coming out here from Beast Coast.
Oh, I wanted to see if Screwface would get anything. He was one, he had a little something. Anderson with the swing, beautiful. As it's down to Kohler with the Sheriff, which certainly means that nothing is a done deal. He's gonna get a chance at making something happen. He's got one.
Enemy down.
He's got two. Still a pretty long road ahead of him, though. As Anderson drops, he's not. I mean, he doesn't have the spike either. It's gonna be about fragging out at this point. He doesn't really have a chance to do much else. He's gonna drop. Dimson takes care of him from behind. DHBK win the second round of the half.
And I believe they had 3 players live.
Yep.
Perhaps 4?
3.
Yeah, 3.
Yep.
So the importance of that is just don't have to rebuy a ton coming into this next round. Maybe grab a pistol. Yeah, they're just going to bonus it.
Yep.
And keep their economy steadfast. Invest minimal amount into this round so that any damage that they do towards Beast Coast comes up in dividends. And ultimately, I mean, that was just kind of a toss away around for Beast Coast, and the fact that Kohler got 2 is admirable. Those are some nice sheriff shots, which I believe he's known for at this point.
Yep.
Right out the gate, East Coast taking some main control and aren't contested much on it. So this dim sum Spectre here is going to catch the first contact from the Owl drone. He'll drop it. Paranoia comes through. Yeah, executes underway, Doug.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. I believe, yeah, it's Anderson who's just sitting on the site. Anderson gets one, Harmon gets one as well. And they can no longer funnel onto the site. It's not an option. Beast Coast have to respect that, and they have to back up. Kohler's made his way up towards Cat. Maybe make something happen. In tree 1, he drops as well. You mentioned this was a bonus, and this is going very well for DHBK here.
Yeah, and I called it an A execute, but it really seemed like East Coast just said the magic word and players started running out. It wasn't even necessarily a cohesive push, it seemed like. And of course, they were delayed by Paranoia, you know, other utility, I'm sure. But really, this has been all DHBK in this round. And you've got some Vandals still.
30 seconds left.
The question is, do you try and save these? Or do you protect the weapons that are down? Because 20 seconds left, there's not a whole lot you can hope to do here.
Well, okay.
Down.
Tig gets one.
10
A
seconds
3v2
left.
here. Looks like they're going to be able to get this fight done. D-Dog has to get this pick. Nope, Dimson gets it. Tig alone here, clearing out every corner he possibly can. Harmon with 3 on the round. They're going to get the defuse as well. A 5-round lead. Finances to the moon. They're sitting pretty here.
To the moon. 10-5 now. Yeah, sitting pretty is a 5-round cushion. Let's check the finances here in a sec. And yeah, nearing the potential of maxing out at 9K. You've got a Hunter's Fury on board. You're not too far off from a lockdown of your own. And you've just forced East Coast back onto a Sheriff Armor buy where, you know, despite some Kohler heroics trying to get some Sheriff kills in the rounds prior, you don't really... Like, we've seen a couple rushes when they're on pistols, Doug, but I hate to be the naysayer now, but I wonder if they have anything at all,
Scanning ahead.
at least in the way of reads and in perhaps strats, something else to pull out on the attack side of Split to crack the defense of DHBK, where they look already comfortable, they look already in set, you know, call it comfort, whatever you will. The momentum's at their backs.
Yep.
And they're feeling good.
Yeah, and I think it's even telling Screwface, he's got money, right? There's no shortage of money there, and he chose to bring a Bucky into this round.
Frugal.
Yeah, I guess. BC get onto the site. The Hunter's Fury from Harmon's going to be used there. He tagged up one, looking to see if he can land the death blow. Nothing doing quite yet. East Coast, they've gotten on there in a decent spot, but DHBK again are creeping up as well, and through all of the gunfire that's happened, now players are starting to drop. Harmon gets one, Kohler trades it out. There's the Bucky that we were talking about. Screwface getting up close and personal, taking his lunch money, and getting a second one with the Bucky. DHBK rips them apart. Beast Coast, yes, they didn't have guns to work with, but DHBK, man, they're playing with swagger.
Man, didn't I describe to you Harmon's play as being, and I don't want to seem disrespectful to anyone, I mean this is a compliment, but gross, right? You know, from A Heaven, he's collected, I think, 3 Ares frags and now 2 or 3 Odin kills. Sova is so dangerous when you know your spam spots and you know your dart lineups and you can pair it up with, I don't know, a tailwinding jet with a Bucky in hand to go clear sight. I was giggling through that entire retake because it was just absurd, the kills that they were getting. And oh man, DHBK 11-5. Now Beast Coast look firmly routed. And I don't mean to say that this game's over yet. It definitely is not. We're back on a bye for BC, but there's no leeway being given here by DHBK. And right away we're on 6 HP for Kohler.
Read him like a book. Kohler has to back up. Beast Coast have to back up and potentially turn their attention over towards A. Again, a very impressive map from DHBK so far. It's not a frowny face, a stoic face. Certainly is all smiles, at least for the time being. You hear the run it back has been used. Ange has to respect it, right? He has to back up. He's going to take some damage there. Screwface with the op, able to take care of Tig, dash away to safety, and keep it to fight another day. For now, you see DHBK starting to rotate over on the map as BC have gotten onto A, but Anderson on the flank can go absolutely huge. You see him teeing it up. There's... Do it, man. There it is. There it is. Jamie's goes there. Screwface gets one, however. As Jamie's looking for a bit more. He's going to have a chance at it, but he's going to get pushed back. Anderson on the flank gets the final one, and then Screwface with 3. With that Blade Storm there at the end, DHBK, I like... Match point. BC has no money, if I'm not mistaken. This does not look good for Beast Coast.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't recall just, you know, during the pregame show, I think you and I were both spelling the impressed look on my face, at least when I saw, you know, BBG and Space Station Gaming both respectively getting upset by this DHBK roster. Well, now we get to see it in HD, where, you know, everything seems to be going right for them, but all of their ducks are in a row, I guess. You have all of these situations seemingly thought through and taken care of, and already East Coast angry about how things have gone so far. Up for a fast B play. Screwface has a judge in hand. E-Cop clears him out after 1, but now it's a 4-on-4, Doug.
Hunter Fury was used as well. You see Anderson on the flank. There's going to be some utility to get through, but see if he can make a play happen. He's actually going to have to back up. East Coast have gotten onto the site, drop things down to a 2v2, but he is going to drop. It's just Harmon here. Or excuse me, it's just Tig on the attacking side. He's got a judge. He had a judge. But he also doesn't have much of secrecy of positioning. He's going to drop. So well played by DHBK, bro. It was a complete performance from them. They look good on defense. They look good on attack. They play the map well. DHBK are proving that they should not be taken lightly.
And man, I mean, just seeing them play this well is fun to watch. You think about open qualifiers, anyone